Hi friends, welcome back. Going to do another one of our, I did asparagus on a string, remember? And we did a teddy bear on a string. Well, now we're doing a lemon on a string. Because why not, right? Why not? So, as you can see, I put a piece of white paper behind it. It's a little bit a different shade than this, and I probably will put some color on the background anyway. Put a hole in the slice, put it on a string. I have it lit from over here to create this nice shadow. I even like the little string sticking out. So that's what we're going for. I'm going to use my view catcher. We'll set it for what looks to be about this is a 5x7. And I'm going to look through there and try to set up my composition. All right, we'll give this a go, just see how it goes. I'm going to use this little stiff brush to sketch it up. A little bit of solvent to thin it down. All right, I have to think about what I want here. I do want the string running off the top, okay? And you're, as usual, you're in my way. There's no way around that. And I think what I'm going to do, let me look at this. The slice of the lemon, it's going to be up from the bottom a little bit. And the slice of the lemon is really going to hit about there. Now, maybe I don't want to dead center it, I think. That kind of includes the shadow. The lemon itself is in a little more, approximately there. So just making some little landmarks. If that's the top of the lemon, the string's up a little bit from there. I bought this lemon and did a still life with it a while back, and it was still in the fridge. My husband kept saying, "What are you doing with the lemon? It's like it's not rotten, and until it goes rotten, I don't have to throw it away, right?" You know, you never know when you might want to do something else with it, and here we are, right? Okay, I'm talking and not paying enough attention here. So we're kind of doing some, as you can see, some straight edges. Just had a call try to come in, potential spam. Don't you get tired of that? It's every day, isn't it? Shadow's a nice, cool color. What's nice is you can see what I'm working on too, huh? So that's our shadowed area out here. A little knot. And in the shadow from the string, kind of like that. Now, yellow is one of those colors that I've heard it said that if you have yellow in your painting, that should be the color you start with. I think, you know, to have a clean color, I think that's the idea behind it. So I'm going to wipe it off so I don't dirty my yellows. I know color always looks different on camera than it probably does to my eye. I can see a little bit of the rind, which is more of a pure yellow. I'll have to get all these little highlights in so it looks juicy. I've even got a little seed. So I'm going to really try to squint. It's a little bit darker here as I squint. And it's obviously not a pure yellow. I don't know. We're going to look at it. I'm going to play around over here and try to mix up some yellow. I'm sorry I'm not going to move you and bring you over because I've got my light on the tripod and everything. So, you know me, I tend to work mostly from a limited palette. So I have Cad Yellow Medium. I have Cad Lemon. There's some Yellow Ochre from another time on here too, and even some Indian Yellow. So the center color is my biggest concern here. So I'm going to put some Cad Yellow Medium out, which is just too pure yellow. Okay? So if we wanted to kill that, what do? We go after the complement, which is purple. Really simplifies the process if you work from a limited palette. You know, you're talking mostly 3 colors. Okay, so I mix some purple and some yellow together, which kind of pulls it like toward an ochre kind of color. I want some of it, like I said, a bit darker there to the in this part of it. As I squint, I see it a bit darker. And I don't want it boring, so I have to think about that. I mean, I don't have to do, you know, I don't have to replicate exactly what I see there. It's whatever I want to do. Sorry, this is not very exciting for you. I'm just trying some different mixtures here, like I always do, to give myself lots of options. I'm putting a little white in there. We might even, I'm going to mix up a little orange off to the side. You know, just give myself all kinds of, and we'll just take our time and try to see what we can do. I'm going to use a rosemary. It's a long flat. I tend to like long flats. Rosemary and Company. Put a touch of solvent, and we're going to go for the darker part of it first, I think. And I realize that looks darker than it is, and that's okay. Like I say, I'm trying to really squint. Some of it almost looks a little, you know, greeny. Is that a word? And the little highlights, I think, will help us a lot. I've got to get a little closer because that white's not quite as wide. Got a band of white, obviously, and then the peel. You know, if I don't like it, we'll wipe it off, right? You know, I can't say it, you know, it's an overly exciting thing to paint because there's not a lot of variation in value and color going on there. So we'll just see. Hope everybody's safe and well. I'm in Ohio, in Kentucky right now. Those poor people, they're flooding. There's been people dying in floods. I think it's the Appalachian area. We used to live over in southeast Ohio, and it seemed like every spring there was a lot of flooding. And there were people that seemed like they flooded every year, and they clean up and they'd stay. That would be hard. I just don't know that I could put up with that all the time. But a lot of people have lost their lives down there. Whole towns have flooded. Just so tragic. All right, I'm trying to lighten up some areas too. And I'm laying my strokes down, you know, keeping in mind of the way the lemon is made, laying them down in the direction that I see it. And again, if I decide to do something to make it more exciting, I will. You know, rather than exactly replicate what I see. Like a little orange, I chose to pull it a little orangier over there on purpose. I want it to be a pretty lemon, you know. Okay, as we look at the white, there's not much variation in value as I look around there. You know, and if you do this kind of thing, play with the light. I mean, maybe if you pulled it way off to the left, it would make it more exciting. I mean, try some different things. I like my asparagus. I actually thought I might cut the board and frame it. Maybe sometime I will. Yeah, I don't really see any highlights. My little highlights seem to be on the inside. Because if they were on the outside, for them to show, I'd have to keep this white color darker. You know, always keep that in mind. If you got white highlights, everything else needs to be darker for it to stand out. Actually, maybe a few down in there as I look at that. This might be a fun subject even for like a palette knife, you know, lay it on real heavy. sometimes just pulling, if you're doing white, sometimes just to put the tiniest bit of blue in them and pull them toward cool, make them a little cooler. Sometimes it'll make such a difference too. We could do some of that, couldn't we? Put a little blue in there, just to vary it a little bit, you know. Sometimes I'll see a subject painted and I'll see they've added a color that you would never see in it, but it makes it very interesting. Going to use our palette knife. Some of these little sections you can see better than the others. And some of them you can only see part of. I know that's too dark. Let's take a light touch and trying to dry brush across it. I actually feel as though I want that to be a little cooler instead of warm. Adding the rind, as you can see, but not a, kind of a section at a time. I don't want it to feel like I just did a big circle. And this may end up feeling more like an orange and a lemon, as I'm looking at it, because I am putting some orange in there. Wouldn't really matter, I guess. Okay, the shadow's nice and cool. Wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's put some of these highlights in that we see. All right. As I move, they move, so. And you'll probably not be seeing them where I see them. I'm going to add a little thicker paint there. This is my side that the light's coming from. Again, the shadow is pretty cool. So I think I'll take some ultramarine and some white. Maybe a little alizarin crimson, because that would be pretty. It's a lemon, which obviously is yellow, and purple is the complement, so I'm going to get a different brush. I'm going to save this brush with the yellow on it and not pollute it in case I want to go back to the lemon. Feel like it needs to be a little darker. I remember that when I did the asparagus, I lightened that shadow. See how that shadow looks compared to this? I ended up putting a lot of light in the white in the shadow color to get that, because it feels kind of chalky blue. But what I will say about that is, I don't think it felt as much like a shadow as I wished it had. I took that painting in for my group to see, just to show them what I'd done, and one girl came very close to it and said, "Oh, that's the shadow." So I think, making it lighter and kind of chalky, I don't know, I think it felt less like a shadow. So I realized this shadow is darker on purpose. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the background color on, and then we'll come in and we'll do that white line, even though this is a white surface. I know I lost some of my veining, is that what you'd call it? The light's kind of shooting across it like that, so I decided to do a little bit heavier white there too. So I'm just going to put a little color on the background, even though we don't have it there. You know, I'm painting on white paper, but I'm going to put some color on here. Oh, okay, hold up here. And the shadow goes up there. I want to forget that this time. This color is just a mixture of yellow and purple, just trying to do a grade kind of color. Lighten that up a little bit. I was thinking about this rope that I'm going to put in, and it's pretty light, so I got to thinking I don't want to be too light over here. I don't want to feel like let me move this color back and forth so I don't feel like I got one color on one side and one on the other. Soften the edge of that shadow. I'm kind of looking at the shape of it here. brown, but yet it's not perfect. Okay, and the rope comes out of the lemon. And up. I may have to move that shadow over. Alright, let's see what this is doing. This comes out of here and goes up. There's a knot. And then of course, like I said, it goes up and off. Secondary shadow there too. That's from the ceiling light. See that? We are not putting that in. That's a shadow. Or soften that. Soften that a little bit. Cutting back on the intensity of some of this, because it's actually not so, not that it can't be, I mean I can make it whatever I want, right? My lemon. And I didn't make it exactly that size. Could have, didn't. I don't know why I didn't. Mine's a little more elongated. And again, I didn't make my shadow that kind of cool blue. I should have grabbed that asparagus from over there and showed you, because I do see it like that. But again, my concern is I want it to read as a shadow. was actually doing sight size, it would end about there. Would it feel more like a lemon? I don't know. Just using up some of the paint I got on here. Okay. Splaying that out. And again, I don't know, I guess if it mattered to me, I could shorten it up some. I don't know if it would improve it. Decided maybe darken the corners a little bit, maybe pull your eye in a little bit. I have to look at it, and I have to look at it by itself, separate from my subject, and kind of gave it that glow over there with the yellow. I think I like it. Just looking at it. I think my seed's okay. It's just very subtle and kind of purple colored, but it's not. It's under there, so it's not. I'm not seeing any reflection on it. All right. Playing around with a little more purple. Debating again about, pulling a little more color color into the, not like that, but some more color into the background. All right, we'll quit. It's been about 41 minutes. I mean, I don't know how exciting it is to watch a lemon be painted. And again, you know, I could play and play. I could, again, this might be a fun subject for a palette knife if you like palette knife or you want to practice your palette knife. Never know what crazy thing I'll come up with, do you? All right, I'm going to quit picking at it. I'm just going to look at it and decide. A lot of times I wipe them off when I think I'm done, you know. I mean, again, it's a lemon slice, but it's dripping down the paper here even. All right, thanks for joining me, and like and subscribe if you haven't. I'll try to remember to put a link to my website in the description box if you want to pop over there. That'd be great. Okay, thank you again for taking time out of your day, and watch for me next time.